Let me start by thanking you, first of all, for what I thought was a very honest and an accurate assessment of where India is today. Why don't we see more such honesty from more Western leaders?
Well, it's easier to be honest when you're retired. That's the sad truth. And probably being a bit too candid too often was one of the reasons why I was retired a little bit earlier than I would have liked.
So, no, but on a more serious note, if you look at the issue that we are facing with Canada as well, where there seems to be a total lack of appreciation of the problems, what India calls a problem, from a Canadian perspective, that extremists are allowed to operate from foreign soil and attack India, and some countries don't want to recognize that as a problem. So what would you say to such countries?
Well, if there were a nest of people operating in New Zealand, for argument's sake, who were determined to create mayhem and violence in Australia, we would be very keen as Australians to have the New Zealand government crack down on such individuals. And certainly I thought it was a mistake for the Australian government recently to readily permit entry into Australia of people from the United Kingdom and Canada who were known to be deeply subversive agitators, if you like, coming to Australia not for tourism, which we welcome, but for politics, which frankly we would rather not have amongst people claiming to be tourists. So I think a government such as Australia's and the Friends of India more generally need to be careful about allowing things to happen in their countries which make it needlessly difficult for the Indian government here at home. That said, obviously it is important for the Indian government here at home to be decent, respectful, to appreciate that in a democracy there will be dissent, that people are entitled to argue for a better chance and a fairer go for different parts of the country and so on. But it's one thing to say that the central government might not have been as sympathetic as it should have been to places X or Y. It's another thing to want to create violence and indeed secessionism inside the country.